Hey guys, I'm going to finish up the chapter that was titled Vermin Appetizer. If you remember, they were on their way to Mrs. Dickerson's house because she had stated that there had been another sighting of the Bigfoot. The new white tennis shoes that Mama and I got at Hanson Shoes were all dirty too from the bike ride. I spit on my hand and I rub the spot, but it just smears and just makes it worse. I feel like crying, but I don't. Tobin bangs 3 loud knocks on the screen door. The cookies are piled high on a plate and they smell glorious, and I can't help but stare at them. Too bad I already filled up with vermin on the way over. I gag one more time just thinking of it. "Mrs. Dickerson," Tobin calls louder this time, peering through the screen between cupped hands. "Oh, there you are, Tobin, sweetheart. Thank you for coming so quickly," Mrs. Dickerson's voice says from somewhere inside the house. When she turns a corner, I can see she walks with a bright silver cane. We watch her slowly slide her way toward us down the hall. She's old. I mean, she's ancient. Like Jesus old, or maybe even older. Who's older than Jesus, I suppose? Maybe God? She's God old. Her white hair is tied up on top of her head in a loose knot, and there are so many wrinkles on her face. There isn't any part of her that's smooth. The wrinkles are so deep and twisty, each one is like a roadmap to all the different stories of her life. She has on a flowery dress and bright pink lipstick that looks like it's slipping off where it's supposed to be. And her eyes are the deepest blue I've ever seen, like the sky on a really clear day when there isn't one single cloud. "Come on in, come in." She smiles a big smile that makes her eyes disappear in all those wrinkles. Tobin pulls the screen door open. She leans down and wraps her thick arms around him. His arms don't make it all the way around her. "Mrs. Dickerson, I'd like you to meet my new assistant, Lemonade Liberty Wit." Tobin points a thumb in my direction. "Lemonade, this is Mrs. Dickerson. She used to teach 3rd grade at Willow Creek Elementary School before she retired." She smiles at me and she holds out a hand for me to shake. "Hello there. It's so nice to meet you, Lemonade." "I ate a bug," I blurt out. She looks surprised and then smiles even bigger, her blue eyes disappearing. "Oh, well, that can happen now and again. Nothing to worry about, though, I'm sure. Well, Lemonade, I heard you were coming to stay with Charlie. I'm so sorry to hear about Elizabeth, dear. Such a tragedy. And so young, too." I look down at the smeared spot on my shoe and I swallow the lump that always finds its way up my throat when someone says my mom's name. Elizabeth Lily Witt. Tobin stares back and forth between us, shifting his feet. "I remember her very well," Mrs. Dickerson goes on. "My mom?" I look up at her, studying her wrinkles again and wondering which ones might hold stories about Mama. You know her?" "Oh, goodness sakes, yes. She was in my class one year, and she was good friends with my youngest girl, Violet." It feels so weird to hear about my mama this way. It's like I thought I knew her better than anyone in the whole entire world, and now I find out that I didn't know lots of things about her. "You look just like her at that age." Mrs. Dickerson smiles again. I can't help but smile now, too. I do? "Oh my, yes." She laughs a little. "And you know what? She was unique." "Unique?" "Yes, very much so. Quite an individual," Mrs. Dickerson goes on. "I remember when she was right around your age, and she got a doctor's kit for Christmas. Well, don't you know she opened up her very own free clinic for all the animals in town. She made house calls, too, for the horses and steers. What did she call it again?" "She did that?" I asked. "Well, she does love animals, you know. She was a veterinarian back at home in San Francisco." Mrs. Dickerson smiles like she already knew that. Oh my, what did she call it again? She says to herself. Well, anyway, I remember she loved learning. She could about animals, anything. She checked out every book we had in the school library on all different kinds of species, from cats and dogs to horses and livestock. And she was busy at her clinic, too. Many people brought their animals to Charlie's garage to see her, and of course, also to visit with Charlie and Rebecca. What was the name of it? It was so unique. Tobin is a bubbling pot, ready to explode, shifting his feet faster now, and still looking back and forth between Mrs. Dickerson and me. Mrs. Dickerson looks at me for a long time, like she's mulling me over. You're the spitting image of your mother, Lemonade Liberty Wit, she finally says. That's certainly a one-of-a-kind name, isn't it? Although I wouldn't expect anything different from Elizabeth. Everybody just calls me Lem, I say. Ah, well. She places a warm hand on my shoulder. Welcome to Willow Creek, Lem. I'm looking forward to getting to know you. Oh, the Rainbow Bunny Animal Hospital and more, Mrs. Dickerson blurts out. That's what it was. Thank my stars. I would have been up all night trying to remember that. That's when Tobin lets out the biggest sigh you've ever heard. Miss Dickerson, he finally bubbles over. Can you show us where you saw the Bigfoot now?